The chandeliers glittered like frozen stars above the polished marble floor as Katherine Hale's wedding day began to collapse in front of her. Minutes before she was meant to walk down the aisle at the most expensive cathedral in Chicago, her heartbeat thundered against her ribs like a trapped bird. Her designer gown felt heavier than steel. Every breath tightened the knot of fear rising in her chest. The world expected perfection from her. CEO of Hale Industries, a magazine cover success story known nationwide for her discipline and intellect. But in that moment, perfection tasted like poison. She stood in a silk cloud of white, staring at her reflection, realizing she was about to marry a man she no longer trusted, no longer admired, and perhaps had never truly loved. A secret about her fiancé had shattered everything that morning, and now she stood trembling, slowly discovering that sometimes the bravest thing a person can do is walk away from what everyone else calls a dream. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and courage, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. It helps our channel grow and reminds us to keep creating stories that matter. Katherine's mind looped back to that terrible moment 3 days earlier, when she had walked into her private boardroom during a break and heard her fiancé Hudson speaking with his best man. Their voices were low, but the words cut like ice. He didn't care about her heart, only her reputation, her assets, and the shareholders her name would bring. He spoke of her like she was a trophy to be displayed. Her knees nearly buckled as he joked about managing her and keeping her too busy to bother with real decisions. She never confronted him, not then. The shock paralyzed her. But each day since, her certainty dissolved until nothing remained but dread. Still, she kept moving toward the wedding, because she didn't know how to stop. She feared the headlines, the investors, the disappointed faces of her parents. Then, on the morning of her ceremony, she found courage in the most unexpected place, a bakery on the south side of the city, where she had escaped for a moment of clarity, still in hair and makeup from rehearsals. She hadn't intended to go anywhere, but her feet carried her to that small neighborhood shop she discovered months ago, Simpson's Sweet Haven, a place of warm vanilla air and heartfelt smiles. The owner, a single father named Travis, was the sort of man who radiated calm strength the moment he greeted someone. His daughter, a bright-eyed 6-year-old named Harper, always peeked from behind him like a shy sunflower seeking sunlight. Katherine had met them only twice before, once when her driver got lost, and again when she needed a moment away from the pressure of her corporate life. Something about the place made her feel human again, less like a headline and more like a woman with a heartbeat. Travis never treated her like a CEO. To him, she was just Katherine, someone worthy of kindness. He spoke gently, with humility, and seemed to notice when her smile was forced. He had a way of seeing people instead of profiles, hearts instead of titles. On that morning, when she stepped into the bakery in her almost wedding state, mascara perfect and veil pinned back, Travis froze, flour dusting his apron, concern filling his eyes. The place was quiet except for the hum of ovens and Harper humming to herself while coloring at the counter. Katherine didn't speak at first. She sank into a chair, trembling. Travis offered her water. No questions, no assumptions. Only after several minutes did she find words. "I don't know if I want to get married." She felt Harper's small eyes peek over the counter, full of innocence and worry. Travis didn't pry. He simply sat across from her, not too close, not too far, hands folded on the table. He spoke of marriage as something sacred and difficult, meant to be built on trust and honesty. He shared, quietly, that he had once been married. That hardship had broken that bond, and now he raised Harper alone. He admitted it terrified him, humbled him, but also saved him. His voice cracked slightly when he spoke of learning to braid his daughter's hair from online videos, burning dinner 3 nights a week, but always trying again. Katherine listened, breath slowed, heartbeat steadied. This wasn't perfection. It was real. Katherine didn't run back to the cathedral. She walked, slowly, every step peeling away layers of expectation. Security guards stared, guests whispered. The music halted mid-note. Hudson's expression twisted from confusion to rage as she announced, without apology, that the wedding was off. People gasped, 1,000 cameras rose like weapons, but for the first time in her life, none of it felt like chains. She didn't explain herself. Truth did not require performance. She simply left. Life after that moment wasn't easy. Headlines exploded. CEO walks out on luxury wedding. Investors panicked. Her board questioned her sanity. The internet became a storm of speculation and mockery. Katherine took a leave from her company, stepping away from the glass towers that had defined her entire existence. She stayed in her penthouse the first week, numb and uncertain. The silence was deafening. But eventually, she reached for the one place that had offered her peace, Simpson's Sweet Haven. Travis didn't celebrate her decision. He didn't tell her she was brave or foolish. He simply welcomed her with the same warm smile, offered her a cup of coffee he brewed himself, and gently asked how she was holding up. There was no judgment in his eyes, only respect. Harper showed her a drawing she made, a stick figure princess holding hands with a little girl under a rainbow. It was the first moment since the wedding that Katherine cried, tears rolling freely, no mascara to hide. Over the months that followed, Katherine rebuilt. She attended business meetings again, gradually regaining control of her company, but with clearer boundaries. She visited community centers, anonymously funding resources for single parents. She spent afternoons reading Harper stories and helping her with homework. She learned how cinnamon rolls were made, how butter melted into dough like forgiveness melting into sorrow. Katherine found joy in simplicity she had never known existed. Feelings grew, yes, but gently, like roots, not fireworks. She didn't lose herself in dreams or fantasies. She learned to be present, grateful, humble. She admired Travis's resilience and kindness. He admired her newfound strength and honesty. Their connection was like a sunrise, slow, honest, warming everything it touched without needing to rush. This wasn't about rescuing each other. It was about walking side by side, both choosing growth. 1 year after leaving her wedding, Katherine hosted a charity gala, not to impress, but to honor the families who inspired her new mission. She arrived without diamonds or a designer gown, wearing a simple navy dress. She invited Travis and Harper as guests of honor, seating them at her table. The event raised funds to support single-parent homes across Chicago. The board saw a new kind of leader in her, not ruthless, but purposeful. Investors returned. Her company stabilized, now guided by compassion as much as ambition. Near the end of the evening, Katherine stepped up to the microphone. She didn't speak of her canceled wedding. She spoke about courage. The courage to leave what harms you, the courage to build something honest from ruins, the courage to choose kindness over convenience. She thanked Travis and Harper publicly, her voice trembling with sincerity. Travis looked down, tears bright in his eyes. Harper clapped wildly, unaware of the weight in the room. She didn't call it love. Not yet. She called it hope. If this story touched your heart, or reminded you that life can change in the sweetest ways, please like this video, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe for more inspiring stories. Before we end, please comment below, I believe in second chances. I'd love to read your thoughts and hear your stories of courage and kindness.